Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Summer. So I recently made a post on my community tab to say my goodbye to YouTube. So in the post I made in my community tab, I tried to explain that I'm stopping. I said my goodbye to YouTube, and a lot of comments are coming through. I haven't had the time to reply to comments, but I just thought I should just make a quick video, maybe try to explain why I made my decision. And I'm trying to find somewhere to sit down. I just want to explain how I came to that decision. So basically what happened that made me come to that decision. For the last few years, I've always kind of like not too sure. When my kids were smaller, I always got them, go to the toy shop and get them toys and stuff like that for Christmas. But as they got older, I began to realize that it was so hard to find what to buy for them. I couldn't just go to the toy shop and get them stuff from the toy shop. I just began to slowly see how they were no longer kids. So what I started doing was I started buying them. I started kind of like giving them money to buy whatever they like. But this year I decided that I'm going to buy them something, because I feel like if you give them money, they buy stuff. It's not like if I was to, what's the word now? I want to buy them some things that be sentimental, or things that they can have for a while. Just something to remember rather than just money, So I decided to go buy them stuff, and then I was so shocked at how much life has really changed. Like I just couldn't decide what to buy for them, and I started seeing how I had to go into I'm going to a shop to return a dress I bought online. I'm going to a shop to return it. I bought it online, but I'm coming to the shop physically. I don't like returning things online. I like to go into the shop to return it. Return it online, you have to go to the post office and all of that, and I don't want to do that. So I'm taking it back. I'll show you guys the dress I'm trying to return. Sorry, here's the dress. That's the stuff that came with it, and that is the dress. Can you see? It's a nice dress, but it doesn't look good on me. So I bought 4 of them. This one doesn't look good on me, so I decided to return this one. So let me just finish what I'm saying. So basically how I came to my decision. So I then went to the shops to buy stuff for my kids. I started noticing how much things have really changed. Like for my oldest son, I had to go to the men's shop, and I was like, how did we get to this? I kind of remember them like yesterday being little kids. And to imagine that I've gotten to the point where I'm buying them things from adult shops, I began to realize how much they are no longer kids, how much they've really grown. And I'm thinking to myself, how did the time go so fast? I'm really trying to explain to you guys, what really happened. So I remember going to one of these shops because I have a daughter that loves music, and she she doesn't just like music, she likes lyrics. Like she would know these songs and actually know them word for word, kind of that kind of thing. So I went into this CD shops, and I saw children's section and I saw the grown-up section, and I'm thinking to myself, how did she, honestly, it dawned on me how much time has flown. The fact that I'm no longer going to a toy shop to get them stuff really did hit me, and I began to reflect a lot. While that was going on, I came across a picture of my daughter, a picture of my 3rd child. And I was looking at this picture, and I remember that picture like it was yesterday, literally like it was yesterday. And I just looked at it, I was like, how has time gone so fast? That picture was taken when she was 3 years old, and we're in Nigeria visiting family. And now she's about to be 18, and she's my 3rd child. My 3rd child is about to be 18. I don't know why, but it's hitting me really different. When my 1st child turned 18, I was like, yeah, 2nd child, but this 3rd one turning 18, I don't know why. I think it really did hit me different. And I began to see how, through that picture, the fact that that picture was taken 15 years ago. And to me, it was like yesterday. And I began to realize how fast time has really gone. And to think that 15 years is like that, and the fact that another 15 years will be gone like that, I decided to really reflect on my life and what I want to do. Nobody knows how long we're all gonna live. We're all praying for long life, but nobody knows. My thing is this: before I came to YouTube, I used to write down my life stories and stuff like that. I used to put them in writing. And then I came onto YouTube. I was like, wow, this is actually a massive platform where I can share my stories instead. Oh my God, my hand is in the way. You know, where I can actually share my stories instead. And I fell in love with YouTube and all of that. But I really want to go back to the idea of writing things down. And I find YouTube is amazing. It's an amazing platform and everything. But the truth is this: I do not own YouTube. I can't control YouTube. YouTube system can fail tomorrow, or something can happen to YouTube or whatever. But the things that I write down are mine forever. Okay? They are mine forever. This YouTube platform, we're just borrowing a space. Basically, YouTube can decide to do whatever tomorrow. But if I write it down, it's mine forever. And I decided that, you know, I want to go back writing. I remember when I started this idea of writing, that was when after my father died and then my big sister died, you know, I stopped seeing death as something that happened to people. I used to see death as it happens. It's something that happens to people. But when it happened to my family, I began to see it as things that happen to us. We don't know how much time we have left. We're all praying to live long. I don't know what are the chances of living up to 90. But okay, let's say we're aiming for let's say we live to up to 80. If we are blessed, not everybody can get up to 80. I said to myself, if we're going to be, let's say 80, I don't know how long I'm going to live. But I'm already, this year I'm going to be 45. If I'm going to make it to 80, it means I've already gone past half of my life. And after my sister and my father died, I started journaling. I started writing down a lot of my thoughts and my stories, my thoughts, my opinion about life and things like that. But I stopped. You know, I want to go back to doing that, because after my father and my sister died, I was very curious about, I wish I could ask them a question. I wish I would have a chance to say this to them. I wish I would get a chance to hear from them, you know, more about their personal lives. I can tell you about my father, I can tell you about my sister, but it's not the same as an individual telling their stories from that individual perspective, from the perspective of the person that lived the life. Because there are some things some people can tell about your life, but there are some things they can never tell about your life. I'll give you guys an example. I'm going round up and down, but I think I'm going to make sense at the end of this, right? I'll give you guys an example. I remember when I was in primary 6, right? I remember the teacher in the school asked me to get my parents to come for a meeting, and I called my dad, and my dad went. I grew up with my dad, and he told my dad that my sight was bad, because I always got up from the back of my seat to go to the front to see what's written so I can write it on my book. And he told my father that my sight was bad, that I would need glasses. And my father was like, oh, can you do me a favor? She's too young to wear glasses. Can you do me a favor and put her in the front seat? And in his mind, he was afraid that if I start wearing glasses, my sight is going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And that was that was his belief. So, and he begged for the teacher to put me, and the teacher did put me at the front seat. But I remember that I struggled all my life because of my sight problem. And then I remember one day that I was in class, one of my classmates, we were just having a conversation, and she put her glasses on the table, and I just picked it up and I put it on. I was like, whoa. For the first time, I actually saw what human beings are supposed to see. That was the first time I realized, and I said to myself, as soon as I have the money, I would like to get glasses for myself. And I remember when I got my job, well, at the age of 19, when I got my first job at the age of 18, 19, I can't remember, my first salary, I remember that I went and got myself glasses. That is the story of how I started wearing glasses. But my brother, my immediate younger brother, one day we were having a conversation on video call, and he said, like play, is that how you became someone that wears glasses? Like, he's kind of like does not know the story. This is the brother I grew up with, but by the time I started wearing glasses, I already left home, right? And he's like, oh, like play, this is how you started wearing glasses. He's like, why can't you take, he doesn't. And I realized firsthand how it can be for somebody else not to know your story. This is just a tiny story, but he didn't know this story. He's my brother. So when it comes to sharing your story, you can share your story the way it really happened. There are ways others may never be able to share your story. And just reflecting on life and seeing how my third child is about to be 18, and seeing that, I don't know, maybe God will give me long life, may not, I don't know. But there are some things I love doing YouTube, God knows I do. But I want to go back writing down my story. And you know, YouTube is something I do for people out there, for myself, because I love doing it. But this is something I want to do for my children and my generations to come. I want them to pick up a journal, a book or something, and read about me from my from the horse's mouth, let me put it that way. Because when my father and my sister died, I saw how I would have loved to read something they wrote. I would have loved to know more about them as individuals. I know my father from my perspective, but know him about his life, how he felt about his life, and my sister. And I don't want to leave this world, whatever many years, I don't know when I'm going to leave. But like I'm saying, 15 years went so fast. Another 15 years is going to be gone again before we know it. So I decided that I want to go back writing, you know. Like not too long ago, my mother sent me a letter I wrote her many years ago, and many years ago. And I was surprised looking at it and seeing that my story from what I wrote, I can't even remember writing that, but I read it and I knew that that is me, because I could remember clearly. You know, this is my story of my coming from a broken home and being upset and being sad as a child, and everything were there in that letter, you know, of many years ago. I'll put the year on the screen. Reading that is my story. The other day I was doing tidying up, and I stumbled on some of the things that I was writing when I decided to start writing. And I read it and I enjoyed reading it. And I'm thinking to myself, because there was a time my children stumbled on some of my journals, and they were like, oh, can you keep writing that? You know, they found it and they read through it, and they were like, oh, can you keep doing that? I left it for a while. I want to go back to doing that. And that is why to do YouTube and do it is not going to be, I don't think it's going to be possible, because YouTube can take up a lot of your time. Now I want to use every spare time that I have to start writing and putting things on paper. And what's it called? But when I'm reading those comments, I'm not gonna lie, I read some of the comments that made me sit back and say, wow, you know, people actually value what I do. I know people do, but people actually writing it in comments made it so clear how big what I'm doing here is. It's making me kind of like put like one leg in, one leg out kind of a feeling. I'm being honest, I have that kind of a feeling of, oh God, right, look at what people are writing. I really like, you know, people really love what I do. People actually value what I do. It's actually having an effect on people. It feels powerful. I'm being honest, it feels powerful. And here I am, and I'm divided about it. But I'm saying, can I just do YouTube and do it? YouTube can really take a lot of your time. Not even physically take your time, but mentally. And it can keep your head going. But I want to free up that space in my head for my writing. It's so hard. It's a big decision. I'm just trying to tell you guys how I came. It seems like it happened suddenly, and honestly, it happened suddenly because of, well, hi. It has to be somebody that knows me from YouTube. To just reading the comments made me realize that my stories are actually having the effect that I would love them to have, the effect that I would expect my writing to have as well. But the big difference is that if I write it in a book, like I said, it's mine and it's mine forever. YouTube is not always going to be mine. And there's something else. Well, and then something else that happened, you know, that came to my mind is that I don't know how easy it's going to be. I'm beginning to see that walking away from YouTube may not be that easy. One, the comments that I got, some of them hit me, oh my goodness, like that. So people I never knew, they even watch my video. Some of the comments, like, I'm not gonna lie, I got emotional. And I'm saying to myself, walking away from YouTube is gonna be so hard, because it's been such a powerful platform that it's gonna be hard. I'm honestly being honest with you guys, I'm juggling so much. When I looked at the picture and I saw a picture of my little girl, when I look at that picture of my little girl and just imagining that, oh my God, I'm getting a bit emotional. Just imagining that, just looking at and seeing that so just seeing how time has gone so fast. Another 15 years is going to be here before you know it. And at the same time, I felt it was wrong for me to just, you know, cut off suddenly. But honestly, the decision came since Christmas that a lot of these things dawned on me, and that is why I decided that I feel like I've done a lot on YouTube, and there are a lot of people coming up now and speaking up as well. But there's this other thing that I desire so much to do. Like I said, when I started YouTube, I felt great because I felt like, oh yeah, that what I'm doing in the journals, what I'm doing in the writing, I can actually do it as a video. But I really want to, you know, long story short, I want to go back to, you know, putting things in writing. And that is how, I think this video is here and there, but this is how I came to that decision. But reading comments, I felt bad because I felt like, you know, I saw from the comments that it's not right for me to just kind of like walk away suddenly without, you know, from what people are writing, I just realized that it's not right for me to just write a post in the community tab and just walk away. Maybe I should actually come here and explain it. You know, maybe I should actually come here and actually explain to people what's going on. And I'm contemplating that maybe I should withdraw from YouTube slowly rather than do it suddenly. So those are the decisions that I'm going to be, you know, pondering on in my head. And I don't know if I really said all I wanted to say in this video. That's it basically. So for those that were asking what happened, how did you come to this decision, what's going on, this is basically, you know, what happened and how I came to this. And I think I'll leave it there. I really need to go to the shop now. I'm going into this shop here, so I better go in before they close. And I think I'll leave it here. As always, feel free to leave your comments in the comment section. And like I said, I'm a bit divided now. I'm thinking I should take my time and withdraw from YouTube slowly rather than do it suddenly. And I'll keep you guys updated. I just realized now that I typically don't make videos outdoors. I always make videos in my home. I actually don't make videos standing up as well. And some people are like, why is she always sitting to do her videos or whatever? Maybe if I can show you guys what I look like. Let me see. I can show you me standing up. This is what I'm wearing. That's me standing up. Oh, I can't do it. Oh my God. I don't know if I can show you. I'm just wearing a rainbow jumper and a tight, and this is just my bag. My bag is matching with my shoes, I think. Yeah, that's me standing up. I just realized that I'm always sitting down and making videos. People don't get to really see me in full. This is what I look like in full. If you ever saw me, this is what I look like. Okay, so I'll leave it here, guys. I really need to go. Okay, that's it. Okay, bye bye, guys. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye bye. Bye.